Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy New Year, guys. It's good to be here.
Happy New Year.
How we doing?
Doing awesome, man.
Oh, man.
26, everyone.
It's
Yeah,
nice to be back in the saddle.
Yeah, is that what this is?
Yeah, back in the saddle. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. The holiday break was nice. Got to spend time with friends and family and be thankful for so much. But yeah, new year, away we go. Back to the grind. Let's do this.
Yeah, it went by too fast. But it's good to be here. Good to see you guys. Good to feel your energy. Yeah, I was commenting, Dave, I was commenting before you hopped on to Big Bear that, I was trying to come up with, everything that we wanted to talk about. And, because of the, since the last live stream, we've really just kind of spent this time keeping the momentum, keeping the, just kind of keeping everything moving forward. We haven't really done a whole lot more. We've got a big team meeting this afternoon where we're going to dive into our bylaws a little deeper. And hopefully, actually today, our goal is to wrap that up so we can send it over to the attorney and have everything pretty much polished, filed, ratified, and we can reset our date. So that's kind of where we're at. But I was kind of struggling with what new what new things we can talk about. Yeah, so we do have a few things we're just going to recap, but you guys, I want you guys to feel free if in anything that I'm saying or anything that we're talking about, if you guys have a thought you want to just hop in, don't wait until I pause. Just tell me, hey, James. But no, it's good to be here. And I'd like to think that this is going to be our year. It really is. We are so close to getting everything launched. But we are now in this very focused, get it done and get it done right kind of mentality right now. So we're literally going to pretty much go line by line by line through the bylaws, through the management process, through the purpose of the DAO, all of these things. We're going to go line by line by line to make sure we are all on the same page, that we are all in support of every single aspect of this process. And I'm really looking forward to that at this point. A lot of work has gone into getting us where we're at. So I do want to really quick mention, we do have one of our first big sprints since the holidays, are actually quests focused on helping us promote this live stream, some of the posts on X. And I do want to say this. I'm really impressed with our engagement community, and with those that are really getting into this process of helping us build the next chapter and write the next chapter for Axion DAO. The quality and the consistency is surreal, and it's impressive, and it's deeply appreciated. So those of you who are here to complete this quest, we have also set this up in a way that we want you to understand exactly what it is you're supporting. And I think by now, the majority of those participating really have a good idea. We're always getting very good feedback, both in back channels and through the stuff that's out there publicly. So that's really appreciated. And what's also really appreciated is the efforts of our ambassadors. I actually was able to have somewhat, I mean, even though I wasn't feeling well for some of it, I was at least lucky enough to be able to, I knew that everything, when it came to the server, when it came to everything that we were doing online, that was covered, that was taken care of. And so having our ambassadors and our mod, Crypto B, at the helm really made a difference this last year. So, or this last few months. So I do want to let you guys know. So we are going to be dropping some codes, obviously, and they are centered around some of the stuff that we're talking about. And so I'm actually going to give out first one real quick, because we're really going to be focused on, and I wrote it this time, on our migration. Is that now? It looks backwards to me. I hope it doesn't look backwards on YouTube. Well, it's going to be backwards to us, but I hope it's the right way on you.
I feel like Leslie Chow from The Hangover.
So the first word, the first code is migration, because that's what we're focused on right now. We're focused on migrating from Polygon to Base. But what I'm going to ask of you is that with your comments, we appreciate people getting excited, but you only need to make one good solid comment. We've had, spamming in the past with comments, and we want to try to stay away from that. But when you do share that with the team, all we ask is that you circle your comment. That way it's easy for our ambassadors to review those submissions, and we can see that you honestly were here, you honestly participated, because that's really what's going to help us grow as a project, and it's going to help us with our analytics. It's going to help us with our SEO, and it's just going to help us get this message out there to a larger audience. So we appreciate that. With that, I don't know if you guys have any comments. I'm going to go ahead and go to this.
Well, I was just gonna add to you when you were talking about the ambassadors. I wanted to mention that we did really receive some very nice messages from all the ambassadors, collectively and individually, and I responded to them in the channel in Discord. But I tell you what, it really tugged at my heartstrings to read those words, and the gratitude and appreciation, and for lack of a better word, the love that they felt for having the opportunity to be part of what we're building. And they've done such a fantastic job. So
we just lost your audio. Just the tail end.
My air.
There you are.
I keep disconnecting, so sorry. That's what happened.
No, it was just the last sentence that you said. So we got everything else. So, but that's good.
Just basically like to all the ambassadors, Crypto B, Adonis, Killa, did I say Adonis already? Mayor Cliff, I think I got them all.
Shieldy,
yes.
Yeah, we got them.
The way they run the game nights, and man, I mean, those game days are hectic, bro. Like
we had 401 submissions in our last Rumble. 401. It was crazy.
That's amazing. I mean, I know I've attempted to play Gartic a few times, and by the time the session ends, I mean, the tips of my fingers are smoking. You really got to know how to type fast.
I did drop in and just watch Gartic on one of the days over the holiday period before I travelled away, and it was just so fast. So it was like, there's no point me even getting involved. But there was one that none of you could get, and I was tempted because I thought I knew what it was, but I didn't want to come in there all hot and arrogant and be like, I know this one, and then I didn't. But the energy from those guys is awesome, and not just in the Discord as well. They carry it out on socials and stuff like that, and a huge part of growing anything is having that visibility, not just in Discord, but that visibility on different social media platforms, whether it's live streams, whether it's shorts, whether it's reels on Instagram. It doesn't matter where it's coming from, and these guys are adding to that as well at the same point. And I just wanted to say that I've seen that and I've noticed that, and I'm sure you guys are aware of it as well. But that's all part and parcel to the bigger picture of what we're trying to do this year, and hopefully we can continue to support and encourage that growth from those guys as well, because I think that's where we can maximize the opportunity for both us and the people that are looking to get involved, either as ambassadors or however else.
100%, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, and we broke another record with Gartic too. So we've gotten all the way up to 175 levels. We would have gotten higher. We actually called it at 175 because it was a new record, and I was concerned that it was gonna it was just gonna keep going. But I will say this: if you see one that no one's getting and the leaderboard is nice and full, go ahead and answer it, because what that does is it actually keeps it going, because we only have certain amount of skips and a certain amount of hints that we can offer. And then once they can't pick, once we get to one that they can't figure out, the game is over. And so that's what I've done. I make sure the top 5 or 6 slots are kind of protected, and then I buzz in. So on the last one, I think I was like number 6. But that means I didn't qualify on the top, but I only added those because I could tell no one was getting it, and so I piped in with a couple of them, and that's really what makes it fun. And it's also an opportunity to we get some messages out, we have some fun with our memes and emojis and stuff. So it's a really fun. I do want to do like a poker. I still want to do a poker tournament.
Well, I've got when you're ready and you've got a bit more time, I need to introduce you to Web3 Poker.
Yes.
Because they are they're a community that supports poker playing within the Web3 ecosystem through NFTs and tokens, and it ties in like with everything else we've done with Zealy and stuff like that. So there's room to get support with that and get something that's set up properly and run and organized, by a team that does it regularly.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had that note, and I actually just circled that note while you were talking, to kind of come back to that. So I circled the note so we could circle back. I think this is going to be a short and sweet presentation today. We'll probably wrap up, and I always say that, Dave, and then we end up going forever. But
it wouldn't be a Friday Spaces if it didn't take you 45 minutes to close it down.
Right? I mean, come on.
There you
go. So I'm just glancing through our notes here, but so especially with this, what we're starting to do with some of our live streams is we eliminated first come first serve a while ago. In pretty much everything we do, we've eliminated first come first serve. The reason is you end up with people rushing to complete something and really not digesting it, not really, giving it an honest contribution. So we've eliminated that, and that's where we have seen our quality improve. In fact, I was also mentioning this to Big Bear before you hopped on, Dave, is that we are failing a lot more, simply because we know that a lot of those can be done a little better. And I want to say this to our engagement community, and that is, the quality of your contribution really goes to strengthening everything we're doing. So especially the more honest and the more personal that you're making that contribution, that reflects, and it reflects with people who are paying attention and people who are taking a look at what we're doing. And we are about to really ramp up our engagement on X. We're coming up with some systems to really start engaging with other projects, and to really boosting our collaboration partners in appropriate and dynamic ways that are going to really lift us collectively. So your participation in this is critical and appreciated. So and kind of as a reminder, the top 5,000 people on our main leaderboard on the, as we go through this entire campaign, the top 5,000 people are going to walk away with a membership in the DAO. They're going to walk away with their first stake in the protocol, and they're going to be able to participate in everything that the DAO is doing. And so we really want to emphasize that, because I know sometimes people get discouraged when they're trying to be on like the sprint leaderboards, or they're trying to, accomplish certain tasks and achieve those rewards. I know it's easy to get kind of discouraged when you don't see it playing out the same way you see it playing out for others, but that's where this main leaderboard is so critical. And the overall breadth of this campaign is so important, because we want everyone participating in this campaign to walk away with something in return for that participation. So, we'll have more information on that. We are going to have at least one more big sprint before we conclude this campaign and really conclude this phase of our campaign, because we're going to have another phase. We're going to continue to do this type of engagement and reward system, not just through Zealy, not just through our engagement campaigns, but actually within the ecosystem. There's going to be opportunities for rewards through engagement. So this is the one thing that we hope to really accomplish as a DAO, and that is to educate people participating in their own financial futures to understand they have to play a role in that they can't just sit back and expect everything to happen for them. They need to help drive the bus. They need to help push the needle forward and to drive us into that future. And so pretty much
Can I jump in on that quickly now?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So we talk about not your keys, not your crypto. We talk about the fact that this is, self-custody of your finance as an industry, and one of the key values of why we're in crypto. And that comes with responsibility, and the responsibility of looking after your financial assets or your crypto assets within a financial world. But they're not going to do anything if we don't have this next step. Like you say, the only way that those financial or crypto assets grow within that wallet is if an ecosystem's pulling together to make it grow. It requires that level of focus and attention and support and effort for anything to happen, and for a token to turn into a movement, if you like. Right. And that's what we want to do. Like, that's what Axion wants to be, that cross and that's that structure for people to be able to take their first steps with some trust and some support into this self-custody world. So I think it just ties in with the values that certainly I know you, myself, and Big Bear have with regards to self-custody, crypto currencies in general.
Right. Yeah. And so engaging with the protocol and showing up and participating in everything that's happening is going to be critical. In fact, that brings us to our second code word. If you've been with us from the very beginning, you know that one of the things we encourage people to do is to adopt our server tag, and we're still building some stuff around that's going to really benefit the ecosystem moving forward. And in doing so, you receive the apprentice role, and so we encourage everyone to become an apprentice, because here's kind of the cool thing is once we relaunch, and once we launch on base, and once we relaunch our accelerator, and you start to see what that engagement process looks like, you're going to have an opportunity to become an engineer. Okay. So if you're an apprentice now, you'll have an opportunity to become an engineer. And that is our second code word. So this engaging in this process, and then from there, you're going to be able to become an architect, or I think there's a few. I don't want to. I'm rattling off a bunch of names, but as you go through and become more versed in the DAO, more educated in the DAO, higher participation in the DAO, you will be able to rank up within the DAO. And so these are things that are all going to become critical as we relaunch on Base. So and that really is the motivation behind everything we're doing. Exactly what Dave said as far as self-custody and taking responsibility for our own finances, taking responsibility for our financial decisions, and then playing an active role in that process, not just sitting back expecting to win when you're not even willing to get off the couch. So that is going to be something that's very critical for the project moving forward. And there really are. There's going to be a lot of opportunities that are going to unfold as you see this process unfold. And so right now, just so I would say this is going to be our most critical aspect of everything that's going on right now. And that is our focus right now. Is we have a team meeting this afternoon. We're going to be diving through the bylaws. I mentioned this just a little bit ago. We're going to be going line by line through the bylaws. And because once these are submitted to the state, once everybody on the team, our mastermind council, and even our ambassadors, I had a really, I don't think I mentioned this to you, Dave, but I had a really nice 2-hour meeting with the ambassadors just a week or so ago. And I shared with them some of the higher level things that we're pushing to achieve through the bylaws. And I have to be honest, there was a part of me that was a little apprehensive to do that, too early, because I know there's going to be areas within our bylaws that people are going to go, what? And it's going to take some real thought and some real study to understand why the bylaws are going to be written the way they're going to be written, and why we're going to have some measures in place to ensure that the DAO is protected from bad actors. And so this is why our bylaws are so critical. And so I had an opportunity to share some higher points with them. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was pleasantly surprised and totally encouraged by their response, their support, and their excitement in some of those mechanisms that we're looking to put in place. They saw the value. And I thought, you know what, if our ambassadors can see the value behind some of these higher level functions and processes that are going to be required to participate in the DAO, if they can get excited and they're not concerned about it, I think pretty much everyone who ever gets, wraps their brain, truly wraps their mind around everything we're doing, they're going to get excited too. And so I'm really looking forward to that and doing that.
Then what's going to be key to that is we keep talking about content, but short 90-second explainer videos that can be rolled out as reels and shorts, but 60 to 90-second explainer reels with the bylaws written on a post with someone commenting on it and explaining what it means. Could be you, could be one of our ambassadors, could be someone else in the community if they get it, but that's what we're going to need, and that's what will help that understanding as we move forward with it. But and I want to be, because I'm going to have to run in the next 5 minutes or so, and I don't want to be a nuisance when I go, but the one thing I do want to say, and I'm open about this, is that conundrum between self-custody but being regulated by what will be some state rules and federal rules in the US, and trying to find the balance between how you do that in a way that supports the self-custody aspects of what we want to see the industry become, or what we want to happen from our perspectives. And it's been really intriguing seeing how we've tried to balance the pros and cons on both sides, because there's a lot of risk with self-custody that you maybe don't get through some of the more regulated aspects of finance. And yeah, trying to find the balances and the checks to make sure that not only the DAO's good, but the people that are acting within the DAO has been a really fascinating journey. And I'm grateful to have been included on it, and that you occasionally ask for my thoughts. And I'm excited to see what happens and where it goes. I really do think we're doing the best that could be done at crossing these boundaries at the moment with the information that we've got available.
Well, and I'm going to put a pin on a couple of things. Number one, I always want to know what you think, but the second pin is on what you said about the engagement and the clips and the TikToks and the all of these little things, and it just reminded me, and I want to point this out, and so this as well. One of our ambassadors, Crypto B, our mod, he pretty much came up with what our next campaign push is going to be. And we're going to be launching a full-blown, did you know this? Did you know that? So we're going to launch a did you know campaign through all of our socials. And that came from our ambassadors. My arms are tingling when I say that, because it just really it strengthens my excitement to know that our guys are that invested in our success, that they've put some thought into everything that they're doing and everything that their contribution means. And so, since you're about to leave, I'm going to go ahead, and so we can kind of wrap things up. We can kind of go through some comments. We might play ourselves out at some point here in the next few minutes, but I'm going to drop our last code. I hope you don't all just run away and disappear, but I'm going to drop our last code because it is the most important aspect of everything that we're doing right now, and that is our bylaws. That is what we're focused on right now. We're focused on our bylaws. So you've got
I will just say, people stop posting the codes in the comments. Yeah, the people are. I'm taking care of them. I'm deleting them, but
I that was one of the rules I wanted to mention at the front. If you post the codes, so from this moment forward, if you post the codes, we're going to ban you. I'm sorry. We're gonna delete it, and we might actually have to remove you from the campaign completely. And I don't want to be a jerk about it. And that probably won't happen this time, but please, for the sake of everybody who's actually kind of putting in some effort here, don't be sharing these codes. That's kind of, yeah, that's kind of a given. But hey, anyway, so thank you for joining us, Dave. I know you got to go. I know you've got a meeting, so you are formally excused at any moment here. You can shut out and say your goodbyes, but and then we'll just kind of play things out. But appreciate you joining us. Have an awesome day. We'll look forward to hearing your voice tomorrow on Spaces. Yeah, tune in for that, because it's going to be we're going to be talking about some hard lessons. I think I'm ready to start talking about it, but we'll see. But we're going to be talking about some hard lessons learned in DeFi, and how to protect yourself. If I hate to say it, if it's even
come along for the ride. The other thing I'd say is, for anyone that's listening to this live stream, Metal hosts Spaces at 2 p.m. Eastern on X on a Friday. And if you don't feel like your question's been responded to, or you want to come along and you want to speak to us in person, you're always more than welcome to come through that Spaces. That's one of the reasons we have them, so that not only the Axion community can ask questions, but people can hopefully learn a little bit more about DeFi. Please do come through. And I've been on the YouTube on my personal account whilst on here, and just watching the questions come in and the comments, and yeah, you know, it's just awesome to see the thought behind some of those comments and people buying into you know what you said without earlier on about overusing the chat and making sure that comments are adding value and stuff like that. And there are a lot of questions in there for you guys to go through in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, 2 hours. Who knows?
Here's the thing about that. It used to be you could go back and look at your video and you could look at your chat. I can't figure out how to do that anymore. I think YouTube completely removed the feature of going back and looking at the live stream chat. I don't think they record it anymore. And so it makes for frustrating because, yeah, you do want to go back and read, you know, we're going to miss 90% of the questions. And honestly, we need to have, we're probably going to have another town hall here in the next week to 2 weeks. We're going to host another town hall so we can literally just spend the time going through those kind of questions. So, because it makes it hard in the live streams. The way we're doing the live streams right now are more kind of like a report to the community as opposed to an AMA. And maybe we just do a solid AMA. Maybe next week just becomes a solid AMA, and that's all it. That's kind of what we do.
I would think that might be a good idea. Just looking at the amount of questions that have been asked today, a lot of them similar, but you know, different enough to justify an hour of answering questions on a live stream. But I am going to run away to my meeting. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here. December was crazy. And just took it out of me. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. Glad to, like Big Bear said at the beginning, hit the new year running, and looking forward to the strides that Axion's going to make over the coming weeks and months.
Absolutely, thank you, sir. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Dave. Good to see you. Cheers.
All right. Well, you want to? I guess we can. So, to what Dave said. You know, it does seem like we're getting, we have far less comments and questions than we've had in the past. And I think that's because we've reminded people you don't need to ask it 30 times. You know, but I don't know if you would have the time at some point, Big Bear, to figure out how we can record the actual chat thread, the comment thread, because like I said, it used to be you could go right in and pull it up. But I think YouTube removed that feature. And because I've gone back in to try to look through these questions so I can maybe see if, you know, if there's some gems in there. And maybe what we'll also do for the next time is have the guys, you know, copy and paste several of them out. And then, you know, we can actually create an article on Medium to answer a lot of those questions.
Yeah, that actually was a really good idea too.
Yeah. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to play out on a bunch of positive comments? Do you want to just spend a few minutes? We can, you know, we still have a good core, you know, amount of people viewing, at least. So, I mean, I know we've actually been stripping the numbers on X. More people are watching on X now than YouTube. So let me pull this
I think
up.
we capped out at just over 200 on YouTube here.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how many are watching on X right now.
Someone says the last code failed, but I'm going to go look at it. And no, it's right. I spelled it right. I'm just going to show the last code. That's it. So I'm seeing, so bylaws. I don't know if this is reversed on YouTube. Can you look in YouTube and see if that's reversed? I don't know.
It is reversed.
For
me, it's reversed.
Yeah, if you're looking in the back end, I know it is. But okay, so someone said all the codes are working, no problem. Okay. So I'm gonna throw up some comments. I'm going to go. So if you want to go from the very beginning and see what you find, we'll just spend 10 minutes. We'll just spend 10 minutes kind of casually going through a few of these and see what we find.
I'll scroll back to the top.
You know, we want to, the heart and soul has been kind of done. And so those that are hanging out at this point, I would say, are the ones that are the true followers. Let's see. So someone said that they've noticed that the chat's gone on other channels. So there's no, and that's what we need to find out, is if there's some creator options to go in and check that out.
There's a question coming at you.
T-Coin. You don't need to say it over and over, bro. I'm just going to say that. I see you're posting your comment a lot, which doesn't do anything to help. But your comment is appreciated. Let's see here. Well, here's this. So this is a good question, but it's not easily answered. The main thing is we're registering the DAO in the state of Utah. It will be regulated by the state of Utah. All of our contracts will be reviewed by, and in a sense, audited by the state of Utah. So I don't think there's very many projects out there that can say that a state clerk audited their contracts. So that is a very unique thing that's going to make us very different here. How do we plan to create real lasting value for the community? Opportunities. You know, we're always going to be looking for other projects that we can partner with. And I shared this with the team, with the ambassadors. When we collaborate and when we have a collaboration partner, they're actually doxed to us. We know who they are as a person. We know their real names. We know, in most cases, I text them on my cell phone. So we have a cell phone level kind of relationship with our collaboration partners. And so when you participate with our collaboration partners, you at least have an edge of you can be a little more confident that we've done our due diligence in vetting their intent and their purpose and their contributions to what they're doing. So I think that's critical, is always looking to bring in opportunities with other partners, opportunities with tools, and other things that we're going to be developing out as the DAO grows. So nice comment. Yeah. The scary thing is with this comment, I don't think we realize in 2 years, we're going to be looking back thinking that was fast.
Yeah, exactly.
That went by fast. And I can only hope that the universe allows me to still be here. So I hope that you know, I hope to be here for a long time with this journey. I've already been both Big Bear, both of us have been with this project nearly from the very beginning. Big Bear's been with the project since before the launch, and I came in just shortly after the launch, and so we've been here for quite a long time, and which is why we're so passionate about what we're doing. And it's become a labor of love, and for me, it's kind of a legacy project. I'm looking to make this project kind of a cherry on a feather in my hat, if you will.
Yeah, I think for us being able to actually say we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know, through the inception before Axion actually became Axion to where we are now, and what, you know, we're standing on the precipice of the next the next iteration, you know, the next life of Axion on base. And it's pretty cool. I mean, really, when you look at everything that has transpired from inception to where we are today, you know, I'm a big proponent of believing that everything happens for a reason. And sometimes the pitfalls that we face personally and professionally, there's lessons to be learned in there. And I think once you actually learn the lesson, the universe opens up the next door for you to walk through, which usually is a passage to bigger and better things. So trials and tribulations are just part of the journey, and we've been able to usurp every single one of them. And you know, I think every time we do that, it makes us stronger, makes us wiser, makes us more connected to our community, you know, because when the community feels pain, we feel pain. When the community feels joy, we feel joy. So it's almost like the Corsican twins relationship, you know. It's like, but yeah, I'm just thrilled that we have the support that we do. You know, the Zealy campaigns have been so amazing, and the ambassadors stepping up and doing what they do. You know, I say it time and time again, but my hat goes off to them, really.
Yeah.
They're a great bunch of guys, and we wouldn't be where we are today without them. So, you know, they're even though they're one of the latest additions to this project, their contributions have gone way above and beyond that. So just grateful to have them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I like this question here. And I think it's important. It's important to note this because, yes, 95% of the ecosystem is pretty much done. And we've had beta testers come in and beta testing. We're going to have another round of beta testing, but, you know, we'll probably have 2 more rounds of beta testing. But the main thing right now that we're focused on is the bylaws, because the bylaws will actually govern the governance contracts. The governance contracts will need to reflect everything that's in the bylaws. So the governance contracts will need to be able to execute the content of the bylaws. And so this is why these bylaws became so critical. Is the governance contracts are pretty much going to be the last contracts that need to be finalized. And on top of that, we're looking at a much simpler process for onboarding, setting up your accounts, and managing your dashboard and your contributions to the ecosystem. So all of those things, there's just a few of those details that need to be set. I hope that by the end of next week, we'll have a very good idea when we're going to set our final target date for relaunch. So it's going to be kind of come critical at this point, because we do want to have that happening here in the very near future, because we are ready to get this to get the candle lit, if you will. So
yeah, I mean, I think having the holiday season sort of quote unquote interrupt the process that we were through, we'd probably be really close to being ready to pull the trigger. But you know, when you've got everybody around the world living in different time zones and celebrating with family and friends and stuff like that, and then of course our council, you know, him spending time with his family and stuff like that. So
yeah,
but we hit the new year running. So, you know, we like James has said, we got a really important team meeting coming up this afternoon, and hopefully within the next day or two to get with the lawyer as well and hammer this all out for you guys. We're excited to get it done, let me tell you.
Yep. Yep. So and this is one of those last caveats. Once the bylaws are done, they will go up they're going to go up for approval through a final DAO vote with the existing system. Okay. So before the bylaws become law, we will be holding one more vote. to ratify these bylaws through the community. So that's going to be really important. And then once those bylaws are ratified, we can go in and get everything finished. So we're going to proceed as if they're going to be ratified. We're pretty confident they're going to be ratified. So we're not going to wait for that vote to completely finish. But while that vote is in process, we will be finishing the actual contracts to govern the bylaws. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and play us out. What do you think? You ready to play out?
Yeah, how long have we been going? We're 50 minutes in. So
I'm still scrolling up. I've been posting a few things. So why don't we do this?
I'll post this one up. This is an interesting question because I think there's some misunderstanding.
Yeah. So we are a global DAO. We're a global community. We're registering the state of Utah simply to have to be able to go before legislators and bureaucrats and those that are entrusted with making sure people are protected and that they're not being scammed. So registering with the state of Utah does not keep us in the state of Utah. It's just that's where the governing body will come from. So, but no, we are going to be a global community, and we're going to have a process in place that anybody in any country can actually become a full-fledged member of the DAO. And so, no, I mean, this kind of goes to what we've said in the past. You know, we want to break down borders. We want to break down bias. We want to overcome some of the things that keep society from truly moving forward. And by eliminating all of those roadblocks that often get in the way. So, yeah, no borders, no bias. That's really going to be. I don't have to write that. That actually can make a
no borders, no bias.
No borders. I'm writing that down, man. You heard it here first. No. Okay. Sweet. All right. Well, with that, guys, I think unless you can find another one, I'm happy to keep going. But at the same time, I need to get ready for our meeting. And I might even need to take a nap. I got good sleep last night, but I'm still kind of recovering. I'm still recovering from the holidays.
I think we all are, brother.
All right.
Yeah, I think we can probably wrap it up. I mean, there's a lot of great comments in here. You know, like, it's just, you can feel the love. It's, you know, people are really digging what's going on, and we appreciate it. You know, we're working as hard and steadfast as we can to get this across the finish line, or across the starting line. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get it across the starting line.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And we would be further along, but, you know, Christmas, New Year's,
yep,
is what it is.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and play us out. Let me get this kind of set up.
Well, to everybody watching, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all, and stay tuned. Lots of exciting things coming.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. We ready to ignite. We blasting off tonight. Axion DAO in the cloud with the crowd in the frenzy. Pound in the ground, engine sound like a Benz G. Incomalins are rising, the skylines lit. Rocket climb like a rhyme when the lines all hit. Doing D5 better, together, forever. Meta rides more like leather than pleather. Migration to base, the flight plans drawn. The future is now. Yeah, the mic stays on. Got a 50K giveaway. Big today. Don't faint from the news, man, you okay? Doing D5 better, together we stay. We're just getting started. Hear the crowd say, hey, Axion DAO, those engines boosters ignite. Income Island, they rockets take flight. Octane flame, every launch stays vital. 50K flip, got the grip on the title. Meta rides drift with the lift on lock. Every tick-tock click, push the rocket clock. This is next gen flex on the ledger page. Axion DAO, future set center stage. Got a 50K giveaway. Big today. Don't fake from the news. Man, you okay? Doing D5 better. Together we stay. We're just getting started. Hear the crowd say, hey, Axion DAO. Those engines lit. Migration to base. The perfect fit. Future of crypto in a brand new way. Axion DAO, 50K giveaway. 50K giveaway.
Everybody have a great afternoon and an even more awesome weekend. We appreciate you joining us today. Thank you for being here with us, Big Bear. Appreciate your contributions and your energy. And yeah, let's make 2026 the year Axion DAO takes over the blockchain.
Yeah, baby.
Cheers. Appreciate you guys. Talk
Cheers.
soon. Don't forget, tomorrow on X, got some really really interesting information we're going to be talking about.
Ooh.
It's going to be a reality check.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. All right, guys. Have a good week. Cheers.
Cheers. Peace out.